Okay. Welcome, one and all. This is PopCast. These are the PopCats, and they're going to play us in. Today's special guest is VRS Chaotic. He is a very well-known Shoutcaster, and general awesome video producer as well for Pop One content. And we also have my co-host, Pink Ponage. So enjoy the cats. So they give you some nice catty vibes.
This is the PopCats debut.
The PopCats were on the other day, but unfortunately, copyright meant that the YouTube version was demonetized, even though I was singing as Severus Snape. It was pretty funny. It was Fox's reaction that was actually really funny. He had no idea what was going on. Alright, let's come on down. Anyway, let me just change that. So, hello everyone. The cats will continue to do their thing until they're out. But thank you all so much for being here for PopCast. Yeah. Today we have VRS Chaotic. He is, as I say, an amazing shoutcaster and video producer. Kay, tell us about yourself a little.
Yeah. I mean, what do you want to know?
Yeah. How did you sort of get into Pop One?
Well, this was a game. I came from Echo, so that was the game I played. I've had a VR headset since 2017. I had the CV1, Rift CV1, and loved it. But Echo was really the only game that I found that kept my interest. And I remember seeing the ads for this game, and just like that looks crazy. Climb everywhere, fly, battle royal. So I was hooked from. I got it the day that the game came out, and now it's basically the only game I play.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've just worked out that all of that I had not pressed start streaming. Well, please tell me once again. So you started in Echo before you ever played Pop?
Yeah, so I got a VR headset. I got the CV1, Rift CV1 back in 2017, and loved VR, but really the only game that kept my interest was Echo, and so I played that pretty much exclusively for 2 years or so. And I remember, I kept upgrading, so I got the Rift S, and then I got the Quest 1, and then the Quest 2, so I've got a whole wall full of headsets over here.
Hell yeah.
But I remember getting the Quest 2 and seeing the ads for Pop 1, and I was like, man, that's incredible. I cannot wait for that game.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's interesting because I sat on the fence about Pop One for a long time when it first came out because I'd never played any shooters or anything like that, and I was just sort of like, could I actually enjoy that? I'll just get dunked on all the time. I'm not sure. So I hummed and hawed about it until February of 2020.
That's the thing. I really feel for people who. I mean, I remember Christmas of 2020. The games had only been out a couple months, and I remember all of us saying "Oh, I cannot wait for Christmas Day. All the Christmas noobs coming. This is going to be brutal." And that's because. So I really feel bad for anyone who's picked up the game after it launched, because we all learned with each other. I remember the first week or two when it came out, you'd run across a good player, but he wasn't that much better than you.
Yeah.
Crazy, huh? The skill gap just getting larger and larger and larger.
Yeah.
The poor beginners, they got no chance. No.
Yeah.
I mean, occasionally you'll get freaks like my last guest on here, Winter, who just got really good real fast, but that's a rarity for sure.
Yeah, different
A
scenario.
lot of people just struggle.
Pro Echo player coming to, it's a little different.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Some people just get video games and they can pick it up quicker. I'm not really a gamer myself, so I would have had no chance if I didn't start at the very beginning.
Yeah. So, your name, Chaotic, where does that come from? I mean, did it have any specific meaning to you?
Okay, so this is gonna age myself a little bit, but so every few years a movie comes out that just changes the culture and influences the generation. And in 2003, that movie came out, and it was called 8 Mile.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely, that was a great movie.
Myself and just about every white boy friend that I had all decided we were going to become rappers.
So was Chaotic your rap name? That
was my rap name. Yeah.
Whoa.
That was my rap name.
Oh, I think you hit the button.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
shoot. Hey, if
Yeah,
you're,
so-
that means you're gonna have to rap for us tonight, right? Is that?
Oh no,
Yeah,
no, no,
absolutely.
no! I found out real quick that was not one of my strong suits, but I did I do still make music. You know, I have a studio in my room and make a lot of the music that's on my streams and everything.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I stuck with that, but rapping, no. I was.
Then when I was just looking through the Cat Band list there to see if they had any Eminem.
Dang.
Hello in the chat there. Thank you very much for being here.
Oh, hello there, Spray. It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. But that's really cool actually. So I mean, did you ever like do any like rap battles and stuff or write
Oh
any
yeah,
own stuff?
yeah. Me and my friends, we would freestyle and battle all the time, and you know, I've always been into music making, so I mean, I have like two EPs of me rapping, and if
That's awesome.
if they were
Cool.
if they were even a little bit decent, I would have brought something to show y'all.
Oh,
but
come on. Now we gotta see something.
It's,
I'm so curious
it's
now.
pretty bad. It's so bad.
No. It can't be that.
No. Yep.
Okay.
Jakey, thanks for stopping by. Jakey says
Hello.
hi. Looking good, Chaotic, and Honey.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Where are you seeing that?
It's just up in my chat over there.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep. So yeah, feel free to address anything that you see popping up in there, and of course, anyone in chat that has questions, 4K, feel free to ask away.
4K.
His brain is yours to pick. So yeah, so whenever I first got to Pop 1, you'd already sort of well, not even got to Pop 1. I guess once I first started getting interested in the competitive scene, he'd already been well established as a Shoutcaster for Arc at the time, and was doing like the highest division, like Diamond Division. How did you sort of get into that, and do you enjoy it? Most
Yeah,
important
I
thing?
mean, so when I started doing it, whenever I got into the comp scene, really, this is back in the Mob Toyco and PPC, the original PPC days. You know, when I first got into it, the only people shoutcasting were JT Dubs, Stu TV, and like Happy Papaya. And I love all three of them. I love those guys. They're amazing. And I remember watching the cast and thinking to myself like, oh, that'd be fun to do, but there's no way like I could be as informative as like JT Dubs, you know, or have the kind of analysis that Happy Papaya has or anything like that. But one thing I did notice, I was like, as informative and as entertaining as these are, they're not very exciting. Like, and so
Your
I was like,
enthusiasm is magnetic.
that's so I was like, maybe I could do that. You know, I can't go into deep analysis and anything like that, but I can. Oh my God, you know, I can
Yeah.
do stuff like
And that's
that.
what
And
makes it so entertaining to watch, for sure. I mean, that's what really made me actually think, you know, I'd actually love to play in comp. You know, it's infectious and it's really great for the game, I think. So
Yeah,
you know,
and-
whenever people see you just going off, it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and
It's,
that's and so my goal in doing it is, you know, I don't try to put any attention on myself. Like my goal in it is to like get people excited about what's going on and like have these teams get fans. You know, have people watching and like, oh my God, like how did you see that play that so did? Like, you know, this team is awesome. And so that's kind of what I try to make sure I do is not make it about me. And so when I ran the ARC stream team, I ran it for the first 4 seasons. And one of my rules was no avatars on the screen, no webcams, nothing like that. And which is kind of controversial. Like that's a couple people didn't want to cast because of that. But I wanted to treat it like a sports broadcast. Yeah, I wanted. Well, I wanted. For one, because I want to be able to use the
Jakey, thank you so much for the subscription.
Hey, Jakey.
The spray and pray. The spray and pray. The donation.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I wanted I didn't want it to be about the Shoutcasters. I think you can add tons of personality and tons of all that stuff. Hey, Lucy. You can add all that stuff without being listening to the screen.
Thank you for the sub.
Thank you, Lucy.
Was that spray? Was it spray again? Thank you so much, Spray. It's so kind of you, man.
Sorry, you got derailed there, Chaotic, for a second. So
no
you
problem.
focus
No
on
problem.
the plays. You definitely are, about the enthusiasm. But I kind of disagree with it. You have some great insight on strategy and tactics and what's going on. Maybe that's evolved over 4 seasons.
I think I appreciate that, and absolutely, you're absolutely right. Like I think, I wouldn't even say I'm like good at it or I have good insight now, but I've definitely gotten better, and I've watched the top teams enough to know, like I get the strategies and everything, and I see the differences between the teams, and so I'm learning, even though I can't do the stuff myself. Like when I play, I can't take any of this knowledge and incorporate it into my own game, but I can watch and see like, oh, they're gonna push up there. This team's gonna rotate, and so yeah, that's definitely come with time.
Awesome.
What's up, Locksmith?
What's up, Locksmith?
Locksmith. What's up?
Yeah.
Hey, I've got a question.
Everyone in the chat.
If that's
Sorry.
okay. I mean, since we got you and you mentioned differences between what you see in the divisions and all, how about you give us maybe a summary of you must have insight on things you notice that's different in like the highest level versus the mid level versus the low level, like, and I think we might be able to get strategy and tips for how to play better through that. Whoa, Sprite, dude. Thank you for the cheer, guy. But maybe tips for or things you notice that are different perhaps in skill or play between top, we don't have to say, in tiers, but like top, middle, and, beginner maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you definitely tell a difference. I mean, just talking Arc alone, in the Diamond division, these teams have played together for a long time, and you can tell. And that's the one thing about this game is it's all about team chemistry. Like I've seen so many teams be put together that are, like 3 of the
Amazing
best players
players.
that Yeah, 3 amazing players, and they don't do good. They don't win because it's all about team chemistry, and you have to find the right people to compete with. That's why Cobra Cartel was so good for so long. Like those 3 guys were unbelievable together.
Thank you, Spray and Pray.
Yeah.
And so,
Appreciate you.
yeah, to go back to your question, like the differences I see, a lot more working together, and a lot more knowing the opponents too. I think that comes along with it, because you'll hear if we pull up comms for some of the teams, you'll hear them talk about, oh, that's fugitives. That's fugitives. They're gonna push this way, or that's so and so. They're gonna try to rotate on us, whatever.
And a lot of like people like in that level, I hear them sort of saying, oh, that's clever because of the way he's moving, which is amazing. You just sort of recognize just the mannerisms, I guess, the way people do things.
Certain weapons, there's people like Complete Guarantee, uses MP5 a lot. Same with I think Slaughter 32.
Yeah,
you got guys like Orzo who are amazing with the M60. So yeah, you definitely start to notice like patterns and tendencies between the teams.
Okay. What about
But I tell you, the funnest, the most fun I ever had. I think the best matches come from Gold and Red Division, because they're not so focused on strategy. Like the best, obviously the best play is in Diamond Division, but you get some of the most action and most entertaining things to watch in the Red and Gold divisions.
Cobra Toxin.
Cobra Toxin was amazing a couple seasons ago.
So good to watch. So good to watch. I mean, those guys were just so aggressive, and their pushes
Yeah.
were so tight and put
Yeah,
together. So
there's a couple clips of me watching Cobra Toxins where I just stop talking and I'm just watching, and at the end I'm just like, wow. 'Cause-
is it you that had a video up? Was it Cobra Toxin is dangerous or something like that?
scary. I said they're scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
I said that's pretty
actually
scary,
really
folks.
good. It's very accurate too.
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't want to run into them. Oh my god, no.
Awesome. What about
So,
difference between beginner and middle tier? How about that? I know you see more the top level usually. I think these days you
Yeah.
see more of everything though.
Yeah, a little bit, and especially now I'm with UGL now, and we don't have as many divisions or anything. So yeah, you definitely can see, and it's really something you can spot right away whether not whether or not they're good, but whether they're like competitively good. Whether they can work as a team together, and a lot of it has to do. You'll see teams spread out too far, or. They'll start shooting while they're too far away, and and just attracting everybody else to their
Attracting all the other
position.
attention.
Yeah, and you
I
see
think
stuff like that a
so,
lot
too.
where it's like, ooh, that was a bad move. But one thing I try to do while I'm shoutcasting is not point out the mistakes, or I want, like I said before, I want everyone to look good, so
That's nice.
I'll try to point out when someone does something good, and if I see a mistake or something, there has been times where I'm just like, ooh, I don't know what they were thinking there, but for the most part I try to not shine a light on, unless it's like I'm trying to make it a teaching moment or something. If I'm like, oh, you shouldn't have done that if he would have done this, and
Because I mean, there's certainly it's a great opportunity, because there are lots of things we can see from the sky that these players can be aware of.
Absolutely, and
Yeah,
that's
so
another thing. That's another thing that I keep in the back of my mind. It's like, well, if I'm in my head, I'm like, well, that was stupid. Why would they do that? Like, that's me looking down and seeing this team's over here, and like seeing everything from a bird's eye view. And I've been in that situation where I'm sure there's a shoutcaster that like, what the hell's he doing? That was stupid.
Well, it's just like watching an oncoming train crash, because you're like, oh no, stop! Don't go that way. You just see them pushing straight into like Cobra Cartel or something.
Yep,
Yeah, it's just not what you want. Johan, thank you very much for being here. There was a question in the chat that you kind of already answered, but it's from Detroit. He says, what's more important, a
Detroit.
group of great players or a team that works together? Or, a group of great players on a team, or a team that works together?
Yeah,
Kind
that's
of already
like I said earlier. I mean, I've seen so many like mega teams put together. 3 amazing players that you would crap your pants if you saw them in pubs or something, and get put on a team together and just get destroyed by a team that's been together and plays together well. So I think that for sure, that's way more important. And that's another thing. If you're trying to put together a team, don't necessarily go, well, this guy is better than this guy. It's who do you play the best with.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Fugitives, for example, they worked really, really well together, and you could see it and also hear it whenever you had their comms up. That was always really nice.
Yeah.
But it's a pity, like, Danderson's not playing comp anymore, and
Free Dando.
Free Dando, yeah. So no, the other thing that I've always really enjoyed about not just your streaming, but it was the video production. Like, well, we have an example, a few examples that you sent me actually. So I can bring one up actually. Let me bring it up. I mean, we could do your little shot in a prayer one, or
Let's bring the new one.
New champs, or
we can do the new one. I didn't want to post this on my main channel though, because it's about me, and I try to make that about the scene in general. But
just head up into the screen there.
This was my best moment in comp ever.
Hell yeah.
This is the premiere of this video, guys. You won't see this anywhere else until Kai chooses to release it.
No, son of a
I got a Magnum for you.
This is with Wads fam and Trouble, my teammates.
Ah, awesome partners. Yeah, Trouble scares the crap out of me.
Oh yeah.
That girl is fierce.
Look over the edge, find cover real quick. You're gonna be our placement, okay?
And so in this situation, I mean, we had been ambushed at the tower, and so I just got res, and got nothing. Wads gave me a Magnum, and I'm just over here hiding in the corner. And every time they pop their head up, they get shot by Nando, who's on the top of the ball. And I put Benji in there, and him laughing is hilarious. So the zone's moving in, and I mean, the zone's eating me alive.
Wow, 3 take and brutal.
Yeah. And now both my teammates are dead.
They're waiting.
Oh my god, there's a lot of people left.
Yeah.
That's what they're going for.
You're left-hander. You're lefty.
Hey, I'm a lefty. Yep.
Start the res, K.
You think?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
So I got 15 health.
They're still right there.
That team's still on top of the ball.
Don't move.
This box here takes queen.
Pushing with no gun.
With no gun, got the sword.
Oh, he got the play. He got the kill.
Watts fam was able to get a kill
Oh my
there.
god, you got hit by that too.
Yep, I got hit by a nade.
Oh, scary.
6 health. Listen, Benji here.
A little longer, K. They're almost done. No, don't shoot!
Oh my god, guys.
Inside the box.
Hang on, you still got people over here.
They're coming in.
So there's 2 more people left, and they kill each other.
Wow. 6 health win there. Oh
6
my
HP.
god.
That's amazing. The little victory spin. I love it.
Yeah. It's like, no way.
I got it.
Place of the week, who? Okay.
How the fuck did we win that?
Yeah. That was my best moment in
Awesome.
comp, and it was all luck. So. Yeah.
That wasn't all luck. That's not.
That was
I did
a
hit
lot
that-
of just
that
perseverance
shot.
as well.
That was a beautiful shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a pure grit, man of pure grit and will, hiding behind a box, and then picking that Magnum shot was just so clutch. One of the things
But
I
yeah, no
really
one-
enjoy about
Go ahead.
that video though as well is you can feel your teammates like euphoria as you get the win. It's really cool
Yeah.
having the comments in there.
Oh yeah, it was great. None of us could believe it, and that was actually game 2 of the night. And in game 1, it was very similar. Only I wasn't recording then. I started recording because we had this just crazy come from behind win. But yeah, so that by that point we were just like, "What is going on today? This is amazing."
Awesome.
But yeah,
Often
no one
you get
no
to
one
play. Like, how much time do you actually get to play? Because whenever I see Chaotic, he's always shoutcasting.
Yeah,
how
well,
much time do you
nowadays-
actually get to play?
Nowadays, yeah. I mean, I used to play. I mean, I still pretty much play every day, but it used to be
Awesome.
hours a day every day. But no one will ever confuse me as a top player ever. No. So this is I found my little niche here, and it's shoutcasting and like you said, making the videos and everything. That's where I want to be known for, and that's
Number one
no one-
shoutcaster in the business, no doubt.
I appreciate it.
Mhm.
You know, I really enjoy the other thing I really enjoy about your video there was the music that you put to it, and it's a common theme amongst all of your videos. And I spoke to you a little bit about it earlier, but do you mind telling the stream like what thought process you go through to try and get just that right feel? Because that really
Absolutely,
builds the
yeah.
atmosphere.
So in real life, I work for a news media company. So I'm throw this out there. I'm a 7-time Emmy-winning editor. So
That's amazing.
That's
You're
awesome.
not
So-
kidding us? Like you're for real?
yeah, for real.
Whoa,
That's amazing.
you're
Emmys,
amazing.
yeah.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
I have.
Wow.
I could. Can I show you?
Damn. Where's
Can
your
I show you a
trophies?
picture?
Come on. Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
this shit.
Please do.
Oh, dude, that's
I have
awesome.
one in my inventory. How do I give
You
it
can,
to
you
you?
can just bring it, just double click it, and it'll spawn in.
Wow, that's awesome.
So this
Wow.
is me and
Okay.
my.
Whoa.
You can just turn it around there and hold it up. Here, let's see.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Oh
so
my
that's
god,
my-
that's so cool,
we share
dude.
that to the camera here, and
Crazy.
up in there for that one.
Oh, I lost
Very
it on my
good.
camera.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is awesome, dude.
Yeah, so this is my second time winning. That's my reporter Walt Makaborski.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That is
But,
insane.
Is it
Anyways,
heavy?
so
It looks
cool.
heavy, the trophy.
No, they're not really heavy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But anyways, so I do this. Basically, what I do when I make the videos for Pop is exactly what I do in my normal life. And music is a huge part of it. Like I was telling you earlier, there's a lot of editors that, if we're making a sad story at work or something, and they'll go into a music library and type sad song and pick the first one, and that's the song they use. And me, I will spend hours listening and trying to find the perfect song what
Awesome.
fits. And so what I normally do, especially like with the Pop videos, is I lay down the video and I kind of watch it a few times without music and just kind of like think of what I think the music should be like, and where the big moments should come in and this and that. And then I just hunt,
Yeah.
until I find the perfect song.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you obviously just have a really nice sense for like what you're wanting as well.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what like sort of music you're looking for. It's just a matter
Yeah,
of finding
yeah.
it then. But yeah, I mean that's why I really enjoyed like all of your video content because it's just so engaging.
I'm trying to think when I'm putting them together, and it started with the Cobra Cartel video that I made back in January, and I try to think like if someone's new to the game and they're just searching Pop 1 and they see this, I want them to be like, holy crap, that's cool. Like I want to do that. I want to join, I want to get in the comp or I want to know more about this Cobra Cartel team or whoever,
I mean, you
So,
also did one for
awesome.
like VRS, didn't you, as well? At one point, I think I remember saying it. This is like quite a while ago, but that was really cool.
Yeah.
I love the music in that again, and that's why it sticks in my head. So,
I've done a couple for VRS. One just kind of messing around, or a couple just messing around really, where we'll have a scrim and I'll just make a video on it. And then I did our promo for the VR Space tournament that we did, and that was really fun.
Very cool.
Valpo in the chat representing VRS as well.
Valpo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks everyone in the
Love
chat for being
Val.
here. 24, great to see you. And Lucy, Detroit, everyone.
Lucy.
You guys are you're all awesome. Thank you so much. And yeah, glad you can make it here to catch our chat with Kay.
Oh, Lucy, you should see him. We had the meetup in Austin last month. Lucy, it was Lucy, me, Wads, and Trouble all cliff jumped together. We hot dropped off the cliff into the lake.
Wow. No, that's
We got a
cool.
video of it. Lucy's down.
That's pretty
Damn.
sweet.
I'm in the wrong clan. Oh, I'm just kidding. Everyone.
Oops. What am I doing here?
Crazy. Hey, I've seen a lot of Shoutcasters over the time, and nowadays is the Shoutcaster tool. And if viewers aren't aware, because not everyone is familiar, there is this downloadable tool that only some get access to if you're interested in shoutcasting, and it gives you like a more third-person kind of or bird's-eye view of the game that you can use with different tools, and it's actually pretty tough to use, I think, but. I definitely know you are the best at using that. Like, how do you feel about using that Shoutcaster tool? And I know it has issues because I see you with like sometimes you have to reload it, load it. But like, if you have like a new guy who wants to get into shoutcasting, would you recommend them use that tool and maybe some tips to get through it?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at as frustrating as it is, and it is frustrating because there's so many bugs and things wrong with it.
Yeah. Have to
But
reset
as
it every
frustrating
time.
as it is, if you go back and look at some of the old casts or look at any casts of anybody now who does it in headset, I mean, it's night and day. I mean, 'cause before I started using the tool, I really would try to focus
keep your
on. I
head
would
still.
sit down, keeping my head still, and not. But you can't help it. I mean, you
Pink's really
cannot
good at
help
it,
it.
actually. Pink's really
Yeah.
good at the OG
No,
style
not good.
cast.
Pink is
giving
Pink
his
is an
face.
awesome shoutcaster.
No,
Like
nope.
And he gets so excited. It's just it's amazing.
I'm a
Again,
newbie.
very
It's not about me,
infectious
it's about Kai.
enthusiasm.
I'm a
yeah.
nooby.
no, you're great.
Thank you very much. By the
I
way,
watched
24
one of your Go Shoutcasts a couple weeks ago, and I was like, wow, okay, all right.
No, it's just. So
It's good
you
stuff.
do recommend them use the tool though, right? Like it is a
Oh
good
yeah,
idea.
I mean
Okay, awesome.
the video is clear. It you know you don't have the shit. It's so much easier to watch, and then there's things you can do like setting camera positions and doing like cinematic moves and stuff. And
Whoa.
I mean, there's
flybys. It's great.
yeah,
Awesome.
but you know there's things that I don't like about it, like. When you kill somebody, you don't get the death animations, you know, that you get in the game. They just disappear, and the devs know about it. I spoke to Philip just a couple weeks ago and told me to list out like all the bugs that it has. So
Oh, it's cool.
I know
that's
they're
great,
they're
yeah.
working on it, and you know they wanna fix it.
Please tell me you asked for a
Awesome.
map. Please tell me you asked for a map. 'Cause
Yeah,
that would be
for
amazing.
real.
I know that's one thing that we asked a while back. You know that was on the wish list of things.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, as long as
But-
they fix the bugs, even that's amazing. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah,
for
right
the
now.
gift of subs.
Whoa.
This is amazing. Ghost
Spray and
Recon
pray,
getting
you
the sub
monster.
discount spray. Thank
You
you very
monster.
much. So kind. And 24 pack of beer getting the one before that there to K.
24 pack.
So
Yeah.
very very
We
kind
have
of
two
you
of the
guys.
biggest supporters of the popcorn community here. Yeah, 24 pack and spray and pray. Crazy.
So you obviously have your YouTube channel where you release like lots of like your sort of more produced videos.
Mhm.
Do you just sort of keep VODs of your shoutcasts on your actual Twitch channel? Is that where people can go find them?
Yeah, I keep them on a different channel, but and it's basically because I just use it for storage.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, it's pretty safe to say that I've done more Pop One Shoutcasts than
Everyone
probably
combined,
anybody else
pretty
put
much.
together. Like, I mean, it's, for a full
Absolutely.
year. I mean, when I was at ARC and Mob Toyco before that, you know, I was doing 4 or 5 times a week. You know, every week I've given up just about every Saturday for the past year because of this. And it's not because I want to hog it all myself. Like anytime anybody, you know, I was Coach came along and started shoutcasting the Blue Division a couple times, and I watched his stream and I was like, this dude is incredible. Like, just amazing.
Coach is
I don't know if
great.
you ever
Also
watched
a great
it.
streamer.
Just amazing. Like
A lot of passion.
his
you can see.
his energy, like, I mean, puts me to shame. I was like, oh my god, this guy has it, and he's good with the tool. Like he's with the camera movements and everything.
Mhm.
And so I was his biggest supporter. I put out a video. It's on my channel.
Oh yeah.
I put out a video
Voice
hyping
Division.
him up and everything. And yeah, and so it's never that I wanted to do all the shoutcasts myself. It was just no one else would step up. No one else
Thank
would
you,
do it.
24 pack.
Yeah.
Thank you. Whoa, the
Wow.
subscriptions.
Oh
Oh my
my
god,
God.
we're getting attacked.
Thank you
Oh my God.
everyone for the hype train. I am now being hunted down by rogue names.
Hi. Hi, we have the number one
it
shoutcaster
is
here.
a massive
Hi.
hype train in
Hi.
the chat. Thank you
Hi,
so
hi.
much.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
We're getting attacked. That's
We're
what's
getting
happening.
attacked.
Thank you for the cheers and the subscribes, y'all.
I can't
Very
see anything,
cool,
so
very
yeah,
cool.
so very kind of you. H-bombs, I
I'd be
saw
dying
you
over
in the
here,
chat
running
there.
back and forth.
Yeah, I'm just running around
It's like,
waving
yeah,
my
thank
hands
you,
in
I'm
the air.
dying. Thank you.
I have tried and failed to adjust the timer on these names, and unfortunately, they just like to stick to me. If I get far enough away, sometimes they go and attack someone else.
No, that's fine.
He's running around the studio, everyone, trying to avoid these
I'm
days. I can't even
sorry.
find him.
Oh, you know what might actually help? If I can see it. Where is it? Huh?
Where'd you go?
I think this might be the answer. Oh crap, what have I just
Whoa.
done? That did not work as I'd hoped.
Oh no! That didn't work.
now. Hell yeah.
Did they do it?
Let's go. Let's
got you
go.
instead.
Let's go.
Okay, I don't know how it messed it up.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, everybody. It's a good detraction. Why not, right?
Keep it coming.
Yeah. Oh no! They came back to me. Okay, we're all right. We're all right. Thank you so much, guys.
We're surviving.
The
We're
hype
surviving.
is surreal. Yeah, sorry, I just I can't see when it does that, so it's great. Thank you so much for the bits and the.
Oh, I almost clicked something. All right.
Yeah, let me actually give everyone some love, which is actually something we've not done yet today.
Where's the?
Yeah, I removed a whole pile of stuff. You see, okay, have some love. I'll give everyone some love guns.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Oh, it's on
Love
now.
guns for everyone. Yeah, so, oops. See, my aim's so bad, I just missed K. Yeah, and you guys at home, thank you so much. We love you. Greatly.
Yeah. Oh.
I have done something here.
All right.
Yep. So,
All right, we're back.
we're now back. We've got rid of the names, but yeah.
Hey,
The love
chaotic.
guns
So
are
you
so
know,
cool.
Hey,
I've got questions here. You know, I'm honestly not involved in the community as much as I should be. So like VRS, like how did it's always been around since I even started playing. I joined a clan somewhat. It's not recent because it's been a damn year, but like late compared to a lot of the other people. Tell me about VRS. I know nothing of it. How did it start? Who's the leaders and how many people? Go for it.
Yeah. So we definitely are like one of the original Pop One clans. So many have come and gone. I think us and WWW has been around for a long time, and then a few others. But there's so many that are gone. Palaphosaurus is our leader. He's the. I think it was,
Soros, he's a lovely guy.
yeah, he's
yeah.
awesome.
The guy's sneaky as hell too. He always kills me. Good man.
He's good.
Solo is scary as well. He's very,
Yeah,
very
I think he's I think he was last season's solo winner in UGO.
Whoa. Awesome.
And
So-
in Go P1 he used to do that as well in like season 2, and I was like more worried about the actual full teams, but he would just pop up and annihilate our whole team by himself. So,
Oh yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, people fear y'all when they see you in a public lobby. I see it on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I just ran into a full VRS squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. We would get hate on in ARC and stuff. I think Complete talked about this too. There is a lot of the best players kind of want to gate off the it's like a walled garden, and
Yeah, they
and
do that.
for a while VRS wasn't in the. We have a team in the qualifiers now, but we had a team in the Diamond Division this past season for the first time in a couple seasons, and so we're happy about that. Shout out Shockwave, but we'd get hate on all the time about people fearing us in pubs, but not in comp, and but it's whatever.
Oh yeah, but no, some of my favorite people are in VRS. I mean, obviously you're there, Balpo's in there, Soonski. I love Soonski to bits. He's
Soonski, come back, Soonski.
Great. I love his voice as well. Oh, it's so soothing. Yeah. But,
Soonski is the coolest. I'll tell you, I met a lot of these people.
Thank you so much,
Darkness, my favorite
Yeah.
name in Pop One.
Darkness is a lovely guy as well. He was in our Dinks and Drinks lobby last night with Noose. It was super fun.
Awesome.
But yeah, anyways,
Yeah, thanks very much
we all
for
met
getting
in the Las Vegas meetup back in January.
Oh, it's so
And-
cool.
Man, that was such a nerve-wracking, like leading up to it. I was like, these are some of my closest friends, but I don't know any of them. What if I get there and
Oh.
I don't like any of them, or they don't like me, or it's just
Wow,
awkward, or and I tell you, we walked into the house and it was instant. It was like, oh, you're Soonski. Oh, you're Trouble. You're Waz. It's like, oh my god, and it was
That's
just
awesome.
instantly family, and that's what I love about VRS is, we're not too many people have left because we're not in the purpose of the clan is not to have the best players, and you have to meet a certain goal or else you're kicked out like some clans. It's it's really a family, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm in
there's
the
not
wrong
many.
clan again.
There's not many clans like that. I mean, definitely to shout out
Just
CIC
kidding.
for sure. Detroit, you run that place like a big family, and it's everyone loves it. But yeah, so it's lovely to hear there are other places like that, like in VRS.
Oh yeah.
Because
I want to
like
go to
that,
Vegas with
that's
y'all.
what you
Damn.
want. You know?
I want to go to the
Vegas,
club.
Vegas sounded like
I'm
it's
too
so
old
much
for that
fun.
shit now, I guess.
Did you
Damn.
ever see that picture of Vape and just how glazed over his eyes were by the end of that?
I might
It's like,
have
He came
to
over
on
to the
Facebook.
He came over to the VRS house in Las Vegas, and he was trash, and he passed out on our couch, and we were all taking pictures with him.
Oh my god, hilarious. Awesome. How is the recruitment criteria for it? Like, is it open to anyone? How does someone new get in, just in case a viewer is curious?
Yeah, it's really
myself.
just it's really just like how we vibe with people. We don't really go like actively recruiting, but if a team or if someone, we have the guy who recruited me, Helical. I would call him our number one recruiter. Like, he's brought so many people in, but someone will just put it in the Discord, like, hey, do you know so and so, and we'll all give our opinions. Oh yeah, I play with him, he's real cool, this and that. And if everyone's like, yeah, he's great, then we'll bring him into our scrim. We have scrims every Monday, in-house scrims, and we'll bring the person in, and if, again, it's not like how well you do, it's
how you vibe.
how you vibe, exactly. And that's how a lot of people get on.
So important.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's
How big
definitely
is
not
it?
your skill level, because I'm in there. So
No.
No. What does VRS stand for?
Well,
Is it
originally-
an anagram? Like,
originally it was VR Syndicate, the virtual reality syndicate.
Yeah.
And I guess that's still what it is, but since we have so many comp teams now, like, kind of our shtick is to have like VR and then a word that starts with S. So we have VR Shockwave, VR Silencers, VR Seduction, and so VR Syndicate just became like one of those. It's the main one, but
Awesome.
so I
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
But now I
They
do.
were-
Now that you mentioned
Yeah.
it. Oh, awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So now when people ask me, especially like in lobbies and stuff, people ask me, what does it mean? I'm like, really nothing. It's just VRS.
It's cool though. Yeah. So now that you're playing in UGL, obviously, are you enjoying yourself? Is that the most important thing?
I love UGL. I mean, it's I had a good time with Arc. I liked building it. I think Lucy, if she's still here, would say the same thing. Like, we like building something. And what's great about UGL is there was this whole comp scene happening that they weren't a part of, and they built this league outside of this core group. And so, I remember hearing of it and thinking like, well, who are these guys? I don't know any of them. And it was like that for a while. And then when I came over, I met Ghost Recon, and who's just great. He's fantastic and great, I guess boss and whatever. He runs the league. But yeah, I met him, and he was cool, and he invited me to come over when I had my falling out with Arc. And ever since being there, it's like, man, this is what they did before I joined everything was so impressive to learn about. It was like, man, you built all this outside of, all the main comp players, and then since then, and I'm not saying that I had anything to do with it, but since I got there, we've doubled in size, and
Awesome.
it's becoming like we're getting some of the main players now, and the top level players, and it's
Great.
yeah, it's growing huge.
Awesome. Hey, I know everyone who's watching this Twitch stream is probably veterans. I see a lot of names, and I know a lot of names. But could you just briefly? I know Ghost is probably going to be on here eventually. But could you briefly describe like UGL? Could you briefly describe
Speak of the devil.
UGL and why it stands out from others, perhaps?
Yeah. Well, for me, it's so much more adult. Like, at least in the staff and everything, there was a time, and I'm not here to bash Ark or anything, but there was a time where we were bringing in kids to the leadership team, and I was so against that, and that was something I really fought against. I was like, because kids, they're passionate and they want to help today, right now, but they can't make any kind of commitment or anything like that. And ever since going to UGL, I mean, everyone knows their job and does the best they can do, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you feel heard, you know, like there's so many things. Me and Lucy came with a lot of experience in being in leadership on a league, and so we came in and didn't want to step on any toes or anything, but like look at something like, hey, what do you think about doing it this way or something? And all like they're so open to feedback to players too. So if anyone's playing in UGL, if there's something you don't like, use that feedback channel because they will listen. It's not a joke, but they will listen, and they're so open to feedback, and that's, you know, it's great.
I mean, it's something we sort of skimmed over when I was talking with Complete Guarantee the other day. And that, I mean, Arc is still massive, you know, like having like 5 divisions and stuff. So there's a lot to be said for UGL being slightly smaller, and then that means that community matters that much more. You know, your voice is not just drowned out amongst a crowd of people. You got people there that are listening and they want to help you have the best experience you can get. So you know, there's a lot of love for UGL in the chat there. Darkness, UGL is not only for NA at the moment. I think they're starting to get some EU friendly times. So, you know, definitely check it out.
IFF just brought a bunch of teams in, and we'd like more. So any EU players, please. We have EU times. I think we have 2 right now in the squads divisions. Like one time during the week at 2 p.m. Eastern, and then Saturdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. And so we need more EU players so we can mix it up.
Awesome. My content on YouTube is usually for beginner players. So is this a tournament you recommend, or competition you'd recommend for beginner players, or like not beginner, but you know, like new to comp perhaps? Absolutely.
Like we're doing qualifiers right now to kind of see. We want to have multiple divisions, just like our, you know. So right now it's kind of tough. You know, you'll see a team that's running over, you know, Pink Bonets and Rad Fox is a perfect example, running over people. And it won't be like that during the regular season, but right now it's like everyone's kind of together, and we're trying to divide people up into different divisions. And so if you're new to comp, like UGL is a great place to start.
Awesome.
There's a question from Darkness there in the chat as well. It says, is it only 3-man squads? UGL does do duos, and there was solos as well. So, you know, we actually just started
our squads division this week. So it's not too late to join squads right now.
I do play in the duos too. The duos is fun. It favors high aggression and high action. That's definitely different.
That's one thing about UGL is you know, I've seen like teams camping during these qualifiers, and that's not a good strategy. That's not a good strategy because you get 5 points for first place. That's it. 5 points.
Yep.
And each kill is worth 2 points. Damage, I forget the numbers, but
damage,
you know,
kills far more valuable.
Yeah, far more valuable. Yeah. So if you're thinking you can just, you know, sit back and get first place and you're gonna win the lobby, no. And so it makes it a lot more exciting to watch.
Yeah. Just in the chat there, Ghost Recon just said Pink and Rad Fox, that's Team Pink Fox, we're actually the champions of our debut season of duos. So woo, congratulations, Pink.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Now, are you guys, you're Foxy Ponage and UGL, right? And you're Pink Fox and
oh man, I just play. I couldn't tell you the names of the teams and all that.
I shoutcast mixed doubles too. I shoutcast mixed doubles too, so I cover Pink and Rad in there, and I always get them mixed up. Like,
are they Fox
Pink
and
Fox in one? They're Pink Fox in mixed duos, I think, mixed doubles, and then Foxy Ponage in UGL.
I play comp every day too, so honestly, I don't even know like team names and all that sometimes. But yeah, no, it's UGL is high action, and so I have to change the strategy for it, and I like that. It's something refreshing, absolutely refreshing.
What does UGL stand for actually? I just realized I had no idea.
The Ultimate Gaming Leagues.
Leagues. Awesome. That's such a good name. Ultimate. Yeah, it's such a good name. So yeah, what do you think the sort of future of comp? What direction is it going? You know, with UGL coming up and having different like solos, duos, and squads coming up.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think? Sort of, what's the trajectory? What's the sort of?
Yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit. You know, I've seen a lot of. Oh, did I do something?
No,
it's me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
There it goes.
You need to ban me from this button.
I keep putting my controllers down because the button is right here, and I don't want to accidentally press it.
I'm gonna have to move the buttons somewhere. Maybe just put them below or something close to me. I'll work it out.
You hear a lot of. I've heard a lot of lately, especially in Arc, where the top players are. A lot of talk of the game's dying. You know, we've had Cobra Cartel. Orzo and Clev left for Vale, and so many people are leaving for other games or just getting tired of playing. And so you hear that enough, and you're like, "Wow, this game is dying." But the thing about that I noticed coming to UGL is, okay, there's a whole new breed of players ready to take the spot. So if these players, I mean, it's going to happen to us all. Eventually, we're going to get bored of the game, or we're going to move on to something else. I mean, it's going to happen. But as long as the devs keep improving the game, and there's people that as long as VR keeps growing, I guess I should say, there's going to be more people checking out this game. And for every good player that leaves, there's another good player coming up. And I mean, and UGL is great for these people who feel like maybe overwhelmed by Arc and getting into that scene. They're getting comp experience. So there's teams, in duos, there's a team, NMC, No Mercy Clan, No Mercy Clan, Crisis. I think it's Clint 25 and Conman. I had never heard of them. Yeah. I'd never played with them. I didn't know them at all. My first time shoutcasting for UGL, I was like, okay, here's No Mercy Clan team. We'll see how they do. They destroyed. I mean, they're so good. And they've done it a bunch since then. So it's like, okay, this is a team that me having shoutcasted over 250 game league lobbies, never heard of these guys, and I'll put them against anybody. They're really good.
Actually, in the chat there, it's quite funny. 24-pack of beer. Literally just sat here for the last 20 minutes thinking, I recognize this guy's voice, and he's finally placed you as the granddaddy of shoutcasting. So yes, that is in fact.
What's up?
Guys, he is the godfather of all shoutcast.
He is the number one shoutcaster, 24-pack. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I have the
pioneer in the field for sure.
Well, I got to give credit to JT Dubs and them. I mean, I wouldn't have got into it with that if it weren't for those guys. And they're fantastic.
Happy playing. Yeah. So, having seen like lots of competitive play, and seen many sort of shifting metas as different guns are reworked and buffed and nerfed. Sort of, how do you see now compared to like Arc Season 4 or Season 3 or something like that before the?
Since the update came out, it's so much better because there's more than one way to win, and that was the problem. And that's one thing that I argue with a lot of the players in Arc with, they want to ban the swords and ban everything, and I really think it's because they all mastered one weapon, DT. They mastered it, and they can kill anybody with it. And so if any other weapon or there's any other strategy that can beat a DT, it's like, let's ban it. Let's get out of there. And so there's so many ways to win now, whereas before every match ended the exact same way. You pow pow hop build, pow pow hop build, pow pow hop build every time. And now it's like there's different ways to win, and I love it.
Yeah,
awesome. I think we are actually in the most balanced close range meta we have ever been in this game right now. The sword counters, sword counters kind of everything, sort of.
Yeah.
But the Matadors kind of counter the sword because you have to be close enough, right? But the Matadors melt if you're standing in the open, which the sword has to do. But the DT can kind of counter both if you know how to use it right, but it takes a lot of skill. So it's like it's got this nice balance. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's the thing. Like I don't want to hate on DT users or anything. I mean, it's by far the hardest gun to master and takes the most skill and does insane damage, and it's the best weapon. But it was just like before, it was like, well, why even bother? Why even bother with any other gun? Because it's just a DT game. That's it. Yeah. And so now, like, people will say like, "Oh, the Matadors take no skill or anything," or the sword. I hate the sword, by the way.
Use the Matador. But I'm terrible with them.
Yeah, but it's like now there's options, and so you never know how the ending's going to go in a match now. It's just so much better than just the same exact ending every single time.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, certainly variety is the spice of life. And seeing that in high level comp gameplay is it's very, very satisfying, especially firsthand. That's why I really, really enjoy shoutcasting, and I'm sure since you've done it so much, you must too.
anything that makes like the viewing experience more exciting is like hated by the players. Like pin drops. Okay, it sucks to be pin dropped, but if you ever watch someone pin drop, that is
the mounting
awesome.
tension as they're like climbing the tower and wondering are they going to get seen.
Is that my eyes? Oh.
I mean, one of my very favorite plays actually was one that I think it was BLT did. Shout out to BLT. I haven't seen much of him lately, but I think he pin dropped Vape, and Vape was just not happy at all. I think it was Diamond Division playoffs, and it was just perfect. Like the grenades just wiped them out of the top of his building in defiance. And then he came in with like I think it was like a sword or maybe a DT. Yeah, but anyway, it was just such a great memory, and just watching that, I watched that clip like multiple times just for that.
That's great.
Really, really cool.
The best is when Complete Guarantee gets pin dropped. He gets so mad, and it's just oh man, I've given him such a hard time about it. But no, the best pin drop I ever saw was just a month or so ago. It was by Matt East. It was in Purple Division.
Be right back.
Matt East, great player.
It was my last shoutcast for ARC actually, and Matt East was playing. He was solo playing, in the squads. So he was soloing, so didn't have a chance in the world. And I just happened to like, okay, where's Matt East? Let me check up on Matt East real quick. And I found him, and he was in the air, and he was going on. I think he was going on. He ended up pin dropping WWW team, and he dropped down, wiped the whole squad. And it was the best pin drop I've ever seen. It was great.
Sorry in the chat for the echo. Pink's just taking his headphone off, so that's why you can hear it a little bit. But he'll be back in just a moment. Yeah, so
this is a bonus. You get to hear us twice. That's it's extra content for free.
Is that like evil whistling hiss sound? It's like, ooh. Yeah, but yeah, I think it's actually like very, very satisfying to see a plan come together. It's like the A team. I love it when a plan comes together. Yep. Let's see. I've had players and teams leave UGL because they got pin dropped. Wow, yeah, it is a salt factory basically. whenever you
BRS used to be known for pin drops, and it wasn't like the whole clan, but there was a few people, Shockwave, I think in particular, was known for a while as being the Hot Chop clan, and then I think TTP took that title from us for a while.
Guramichi,
they hot dropped me. God damn it, last season.
Yeah.
God damn it. Pin drop, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
But,
it's exciting, and you know, when someone throws a nade into a building and gets the win, like that's exciting.
Yeah.
You get someone who's pushing real hard, but there's someone waiting for him with a sword, and then like there's all these exciting ways to win now, and yeah, that's what the top players they're like, ban it.
I mean, is things like frags, I can kind of see why, because they're still broken. You know,
Yeah,
Brad Fox did a video on them the other day. You know, sometimes they'll just straight up go through builds. They annihilate huge amounts of builds as well, by the way. But sometimes, you know, you'll throw a grenade next to someone's feet and it won't do anything. It'll just no rag.
yeah.
Other times, you know, you're doing, you know, 150 damage from like the same distance as like a place that does 10 damage, and it's a bit weird. It can clip through buildings. It can do all sorts of things. So, yeah, I mean, at the moment, I guess I can kind of understand why anyone would ban it. They didn't ban it for PPC EU, and you know that's actually it's really fun to watch. But
yeah, or UGO, we just had a great win the other day. Someone throwing a nade. I wish I could remember who it was. But yeah, it's not banning UGO either.
Yeah, it can be very satisfying to see a good frag kill, and it feels great too. If you ever get one of those ones that's just timed perfectly and you lob it and it just sort of like airbursts above their heads, oh
yeah,
feels great.
Yeah.
Yes, these problems. I like to run into people with one in my hand. A grenade, yeah. That's. I fragged myself yesterday. Now that I think about it, in Metro, I was playing with Noose. I was sort of tried to duck into like little, you know, one of the little covered under things, right? And I'd thrown this grenade, thinking I'll throw this out onto the street, it'll land there, and it like bounced off the roof, landed next to me, and I was like, oh no!
I hate that. Even like a zone nade, when you're trying to get like a zone nade out a window and it hits the side or something, you're like, oh crap.
Oh, no! Zone naded yourself. It just felt like, oh my god, I'm such a klutz. Yeah. So whenever you're playing, what's your sort of favorite loadout?
I like the P90 and the Magnum right now. That's kind of my go-to. For a while,
very dangerous. It melts.
Yeah, for a while, and give Pink some props here. I've mentioned this on my stream a number of times, but when that major June update came out, and everyone was like, the AK is dead, like it's unusable anymore. And AK was my go-to weapon at the time, and I was like, oh man, and I tried it too, and I'm like, it's terrible. You can't even shoot it. And I watched one of Pink's videos, his AK masterclass, and I saw him just being able to just pinpoint accuracy the whole. He was in the training park, and he was just doing it
so far away.
So far away, one-handed even while peeking. And I was like, if he can do that, I can do that. And so I did the exact same thing. I went and spent like 3 hours in the training park, just trying to do that, and I'd watch the video, and then I'd do, and I didn't get nearly as good as he was doing it, but I got to where like, oh, I'm hitting most of them. Hell yeah. And so he saved the AK for me.
Yep. For the people at home who might not know this, with guns that have predictable recoil, if you sort of hold them, let me use this gun as an example. If you like go up to a wall and hold it kind of like that, right? So like right over at a peaching, like an angle that you'd be peeking at, like this, the opposite of this. You can hold the trigger down and just get like a full spray. That'll basically show you exactly the way you'd need to trace if you're holding the gun the right way around.
Oh,
so,
interesting.
It just means you don't have to do all that mental mathematics of doing it and then being like, okay, here I have to dissect this bit and break it down. You can literally just follow the path. You'll see the shape right next to you while you're doing it. So you just try and copy the shape.
That's a cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that.
So,
yeah, it's just a
so
because
your
like,
loadout
the way
is
you do it is
AK.
different.
That's a good tip, though. I mean, makes sense. But your loadout is clearly AK, then, right? If you talking AK and you like the AK now.
I still love the AK. I've kind of gotten to where I use the P90 more, but I still love the AK. And yeah, that's I like it. You know, a lot of people are using like the RFB now, and I feel like I can do the same the same damage that I can do with the RFB with the AK, only faster.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah. And like, how do you like to play? I mean, are you sort of more of a mid-range, long-range, sort of keep your distance type guy, or do you like getting up close and personal? Do you like getting stabby or slashy?
I'd say I'd say I'm more mid-range. I used to be more, of a sniper, but really ever since the update, I've kind of, I haven't really even messed with the op or anything. But I tend to push a lot. I wish I was, I had more set strategy of how I play, but I don't. Like I said, no one will ever confuse me being a top player. I'm not. But I'd say in that mid range, and sometimes pushing up. A good DT player will kill me every single time I push, but
I think
I do okay.
Once you know how you like to play the game, then just keep doing that.
Yeah.
I like getting pushy, but I'm not good at it compared to a lot of other people. So if I do see someone who I know is scary, I'm not pushing them. I'll be sitting back with my AK behind a sign or something.
I'm the same way. Like I feel like I'm pretty good at the game when I'm just playing pubs and everything. Until I'll see someone in the lobby, I'm like, crap, and I'll just
scanter or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like, God damn, Scanter's gonna kill me for sure. And I try not to let that go to my head or anything. I try to play the same way, but sure enough, Scanter will kill me. Like,
Scanner kills everyone.
Or Slick Skills.
Okay.
Slick Skills. If that dude didn't
monster,
if that dude didn't stream, I would swear he was AI or something, man. Like a bot programmed to win. Yeah. God.
If you guys haven't watched, well, I'm sure everyone has probably watched Slick Skills, but no, H-Bomb's really, you probably haven't, since you're kind of just new to the whole Twitch scene. But Slick Skills, he does everything at 3 times the speed normal humans do.
I was with 2 other VRS members, so I was in a pretty good squad. Not like my main comp squad, but we're all good players. We all played good together, and we had Slick Skills. We'd kill. I think he was soloing because we killed his other 2 teammates. He was out in the zone, right outside a tower, like in planes, and we were all full health, had our loadouts. We had hit him a few times, so he's obviously low, and so I push in. I think one of my other teammates pushed in, and we're dead. I don't even know. I can't even tell you what happened. We're just dead. We're dead, and he lives.
Doing crazy little jump shots with his op. Probably
insane, man, insane.
Yeah,
and that guy is another breed. So I've played against a lot of the best now, and I do a lot more consistently these days. But oh boy, Slick Skills. Not only is he fast, but the problem is he's also brilliant. Tactically, and no one gives him enough credit for that because he doesn't have to be brilliant tactically in pubs. But oh god, in comp he's a tactical genius. Plus he's extremely skilled. Whereas Scanner, I love Scanner to death. Scanner's got the tactical genius, up here, but then he plays slower, which is fine because it works. But Slick is scary because he's got both of those, and that's what scares the shit out of me every time I play against him. And he kills me 90% of the time. So I mean, it's
I mean, it is blinding speed though. I mean, they just it feels like the guy's living in the Matrix.
I'm seriously sitting here trying to describe how he beat us, and I can't do it. We could not have been in a better position, and we're like I said, we're pretty good at the game. It's not like we're noobs or anything. And he made me look stupid. I'll say it. He made me look stupid.
He makes us all look stupid. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right to say that.
Steer Runner in the chat saying, basically reiterating what I said there. Slick Skills does everything so fast that it looks like he's even flying and walking faster.
Yep.
He does.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So definitely, if you haven't watched him, just go check out some of his videos. He's also on TikTok, I believe. Lots of very spicy headshots and crazy plays in his TikTok. So check him out.
I'm bringing back. I don't know if anyone's seen my contender series. I only did 1 episode.
That was awesome.
But
let's watch that.
That's coming back. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
that's coming back. And the next team up, Apex Elite. Featuring Slick Skills.
Great team, yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Came so close. Oh, so close.
1 point, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, no, like 0.6, 0.6 points.
Christ.
And they won. That's the thing. They won the last game. They were up going into the last game, up by a couple points. They beat the second place team in the final game. Of course they won, right? Of course. Nope. Supreme Royals. They got more kills.
Should we do Hexalink or Supreme?
It's up to you.
Let's do Hexalink. This is.
If no one's seen the newest one, it should at least do like the first half of that one.
Wait, where's that one?
Because that was incredible.
That was an awesome video. I just saw it last night, I think, actually, which is cool. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Is that the Meet the New Champs one?
Yeah, Meet the New Champs, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you sent me that already. Just, I already had this link, but went looking for it for some reason. Right, yeah, just give me 1 second, chat, while I get this pulled up.
And this is something I've been asked to, like, because I'm no longer with ARC, but I kind of made a ARC video and everything, but like, I didn't do it for ARC, I did it for Supreme Royals, it's for the community, so I was like, I thought about it when I was making it, like, should I leave ARC out of this and everything? But no, it happened in ARC, so.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they were seriously impressive their last season, so. Really surprised
last couple
me.
Seasons, yeah.
Pink, if you want to go into screen there, yeah. Well, give this a watch.
This is the Cobra one, I think.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
In the short history of Population 1, no team has experienced as much success as Cobra Cartel North America.
We can take that fight.
Let's go, dude.
Originally starting off their competitive careers as Coffball, Orzo and Tech-9 Jr., along with Chives, won multiple tournaments, quickly becoming known as one of the game's most formidable squads.
It's always the clutches. Something triggers in Tech's brain.
Yeah, it does.
Then Tech
He just goes absolutely crazy.
Pick up another top talent, Clev, before being recruited by Cobra Cartel.
And that was it right there. Once they picked up Clev.
Clev throwing some nades. Oh, takes out all three of them, just a swarm of nades. Since that move, the team has dominated everywhere they competed, winning Season 3 of the PPL by a large margin, and also winning the final season of the PPC. In the playoffs this past season, Cobra Cartel faced some of their toughest competition to date. After 4 games, Cobra, Vortex, Supreme, and the Most Wanted Fugitives were all within 8 points of each other. It would all come down to the final game. Oh, Sleepy Joe gets taken out, and we're down to 3 teams. Vortex, Fugitives, Cobra Cartel. They're moving in, Cobra NA, Tech getting hit. Oh no, Sumachi goes down. Danderson takes down Impasa. Abby getting hit in the zone, trying to keep their hopes alive for Vortex. Danderson, Scanter, take down Abby username, and down goes Vortex. It's Cobra NA, it's Fugitives. Funky Bunch taken out. Danderson goes down. And we have a winner.
Again, it's just that music is so atmospheric.
Swells the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, because it's just like it starts off real calm, and it's that same the whole time. Do 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 do.
Gets you immersed.
And and the narration as well. It's great.
And new competitors entering the arena.
This is where I dubbed them the first dynasty of Pop 1.
Or has the year of the Cobra just begun?
Just realized this screen is like somehow moved a bit close to the camera, so it's a wee bit zoomed in for you guys at home. I will fix that after this and move the screen back a little bit. I'm not sure how I did that, but just so it actually fills the screen properly.
Yeah, it's the rest is just a promo for
Hope you enjoyed that video.
ARC Season 2.
Yeah, but yeah, that was really cool. Very.
Yeah, that was like the first one like the first one of these I kind of put together, and I was just like, I wonder if I can just do what I do for work, for Pop 1. And, I put together thinking like, I don't know if anyone's going to like this or anything. And the response was just incredible.
It was awesome.
I was like, but there's so much of this. It's so hard to do. Like, I only did a couple more like this, and that's because they're so so hard to do. Like having to, because I'm writing the script,
Sorry.
I'm voicing it. You know, I'm having to hunt for video, which is the hardest part. You know, and then edit, put it all together, and find the music. I mean, it's so much for one person to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I am just trying to fix that that screen here. So let me see if that's.
Yeah, I think
that's better.
people don't realize how long it takes to do video editing. You know, I just started making videos. I'm not a pro like you, but like, God, like it takes forever. You have to really be passionate about it to stick it through. The rendering, the uploading, and that takes another day. You know, oh God. But like the editing, oh boy, yeah.
So the last one I put out on Supreme Royals, that one, you know, they won. I was actually shoutcast for UGL like as they won, and so coach rated me afterwards, and I asked who won. They said Supreme Royals. I was like, what? They were down last time I saw. And so you know, I finished the UGL shoutcast, and I hit up Austin and Ethan, and I was like, hey, can I interview you guys? I'm gonna make a video. And so I interviewed them right then. And then I stayed up all night, literally all night editing to get that put out at like noon the next day.
Dang, yeah, that was fast. That was really fast.
I was exhausted, but it was like I was feeling it as I was going. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah,
awesome.
Sorry, I've just got. I've finally managed to get the link to the right one there, and hopefully this time this plays in the right place. So let me stop that. Okay, so let's hope this screen is now in the right position for this, or close enough at least. Close enough, it'll do. All right, pinky up there.
Yep.
This is it.
No, it's actually way too close again. I need to move it back more.
It's okay. Still looks good.
This really shows how good coach is at shoutcasting, man.
His enthusiasm is insane.
Yeah.
Really. His voice must be so sore after every event.
I tell him, like, hey, don't do it, don't overdo it, man.
Get some lemon drops or something in you. It's like skills. Oh, perfect timing. Oh,
yeah.
Yo, it's chaotic. Arc season 5 in the books. With the season 4 champions, Cobra Cartel no longer competing, we knew we were gonna get new champions this season. And so, I'm now joined by the reigning, defending champions, Supreme Royals.
Hell yeah.
You guys, I don't know if you remember, but last season, you guys were my sleeper pick. Ethan not found, knocking down Neeks. Johnny Pash taking out Sleepy Joe. And Ethan finishes off. And the Royals gonna take game 1.
Ethan's such a solid player.
We went up against
Austin
in pubs, and I said, you know
Austin's close range is just scary as shit too.
They can surprise some people tomorrow. And they do. They take game 1. After 3 games.
And this season was their first time playing together, so they've only been together like 2 seasons.
The last game you were down by 4 points. And you almost had it last season.
Yeah, one thing about that. Last season I told these 2 people that go top kingdom. They didn't listen at all. I feel like that's for the reason why we lost.
They move in. Ethan takes out Sleepy. Glenn takes out Austin. Take 9 takes out Johnny Pash. And down goes Ethan. That'll do it for the Royals. And that's most likely gonna be it.
Austin.
Oh, I remember that finish.
Season to go top kingdom, and we didn't listen.
They were so close. They were down 4 points going into the last game. Oh.
The last game ended in kingdom just like it did last season.
Oh boy, here it is, the photo finish between Apex and Royals. Here it is, the fight for first place. Both teams still alive.
You know,
This was done when the RFB was still broken as well, with no range, basically.
Very happy.
I don't think so.
Looking at the spreadsheet at the end of the game, or did you find out?
I think you've accidentally pressed something.
I mean, it was like,
Sorry about that, guys.
Whoops. Oh, I did it
You said
again. The cats.
Stop pressing the cat button. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move the buttons.
Please.
I mean, so this like at this moment, I mean, if you're Apex Elite, you're thinking you won. Like you beat the second place team in the last game.
Yeah, I watched that VOD. That
I
was
was
fun.
watching that spreadsheet the entire time that they were putting in the scores.
I didn't even have the spreadsheet open. I was just I went in Coach's VOD, and that was pretty funny that they're celebrating.
Wow, I don't know. We gotta see how many kills Royals got. It's really gonna be the deal breaker. Wow, 8 kills.
Oh,
No way.
no
No
way!
way.
Oh my God! Is Apex in?
It's insane.
My goodness! My bad!
My bad.
Wow, by 1 point.
They've done it! Supreme Royals is the champion!
Wow, Supreme Royals. What a Cinderella story.
Apex Elite, you saw them celebrating. They completely believed that they had won this season. It is not the case as of right now. Assuming that all these team scores are correct, we are going to have to verify them. Hopefully everyone reported their scores correctly, because if they did, it's going to go Royals by less than a point.
I mean, we've had some like great finishes.
0.6.
in
Oh,
finals.
God.
Was great. Last season was great. But this, man, I mean, that was insane. So how did it feel like when your name went above Apex Elite?
I think I squealed a little bit.
I was a bit
Okay,
shocked
what
that
just
we were
happened
able to
there?
win after getting 2
Why did the camera move
6-0
back?
Kill games.
I don't know.
It didn't look good. Like I said,
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
huh?
live the first
Because that's where it's meant
Cool.
to be.
and,
I don't know
you
what went wrong
I like
earlier.
you guys. I was pulling for you guys, but it was like, oh well, you know, it's a wrap.
I didn't do
you know,
anything.
They're out.
Chaotic
now the screen's too far away again.
Last game, 269 damage.
Yeah.
How do you see what it sees?
By Apex, you saw.
we've
it's
gotta
different,
be-
like, we've got a little camera
And I
control
found out later
in
that
front of
you
us.
guys- And so, like, what changed? What turned around? Like after game 3 or 4, whenever it was.
I think we were just getting a bit unlucky. I mean, we had very bipolar games, like 6-0 to like 1st and 11, and I think we just weren't very coordinated at the beginning of the game. We were just kind of landing spread apart, didn't really care. It was just the games that we like realized that we have to actually be strategic about where we land.
We were spread out, and we weren't really expecting Apex to just hard push us immediately.
Looks like Apex is going to move in on Royals here. We might see an early fight. Yeah, Johnny Cash gets ripped. Might have gotten hit by Creamy's off. Slick's going to take out Austin down below. It's
Creamy's a
Johnny
very
on
scary
Pulp
player
here.
with his
Oh,
Australian
Oh my
thing.
God. Yeah.
And that's the end of Royals right off the bat. Flyby.
And so we were split
Thanks
up
very
and
much for the bits there,
undiluted,
24.
and they just got a quick
So
win.
very kind of you.
None us
For-
were far enough to
With
be able to
bits.
actually get away and survive.
And make
we
sure
had
that if
2
you
games
haven't
where we
already
got back
subscribed to
0 points.
Chaotic's channel on
After
Twitch
the,
so you can watch the
third game,
shoutcasting action,
that was our
go find him.
second 6-0.
I'm 3 away from 600, so
Whoa!
Yeah,
Please
yeah,
like and
yeah.
subscribe.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Including my op.
Let's help him get there
Just to
and
get my
further.
finger out, and I came back and everything changed.
So were you guys disappointed that Cobra and the defending champions, were not here? Does that kind of take away a little bit for you, or?
It does a bit. I'm a little bummed that they didn't play again, because it would have been nice if we were able to beat them, but, you know, they ran away to Vale, little cowards. I don't think they're that impossible to beat. Like, we almost had it last season, and that was the first season that this team actually played together. So I think we had a lot more experience this season, a lot more comfortable, so I think we definitely could have beat them.
For sure,
Yeah,
experience
this
is a huge
last
part,
season
isn't
was
it?
our first
Yeah.
time with me on the
Mhm.
team, so there was, you know, maybe a little bit of an adjustment period.
Yeah, and again, just chemistry. Like these 3. I mean, all 3 of these players have been in comp for a long time, but last season, season 4 was their first time playing together,
Together, yeah.
and they almost won their first season playing together, and then they did win their second season playing. You know, it's like you just find the right combination. And
It's, you know,
It's always nice being the underdogs.
Yeah. Well, you're not underdogs no
Another
more.
season coming. Oh yeah, that's very
I like Ethan too. He's one of the nicest at that level.
he is. He
The
is.
least toxic.
Going to the last game last season from winning.
Now, I don't know even why, but I thought Ethan was like one of the toxic kid players
2 weeks.
for the longest time until I actually talked to him. I'm like, oh man, this dude's
Every week we got over
awesome.
He's chill.
Every week
He's chill.
It's hard not to root for him.
Points. We got
Mm-hmm.
120 points 1 week. I
You know,
believe,
before I
or
knew who
right
Ethan
around
Found
120.
was, I actually ended up playing with him in a pub.
And without Austin, we got like 50
Mm.
points.
And I was just
60
like,
points another.
what is this guy? He's a god. Because this is like, you know,
Austin,
long time ago. I was like, this guy's a
Yeah.
god. What is he doing? The whole lobby getting obviously steamrolled by him. And he was so chill about it as well. And
Yeah.
sort of helping me and
What's
stuff.
going on next season? What's your predictions?
Well, actually,
Austin could be pretty cocky, but he's also could be very helpful. Like I met up with him on in a pub on my alt account one time, a long time ago, and he friended me up and played with me, you know, a bunch. Yeah, and I'd always say, if I get 2 kills when I'm playing with Austin, that's a great game. Oh, here we go, Johnny Patch's moment.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kinda dumb with her face.
Austin made him do the, or no, it was either Ethan or Austin made him do this. And he didn't want to do it. Then he didn't want me to put in the video. Too bad.
This song is before those kids' time. This was my generation.
Right, me too.
Yeah.
I think we know what song will be getting played out with by the cats now.
If you can find it.
I was like, I have to put it in here because this is the best way to end the video. A little fade out right here.
Stars break the mold. That's beautiful.
Johnny, wonderful.
It's good just seeing the players having fun like that.
Yeah.
Not taking themselves too seriously. So, yeah.
Yeah, good for them. Like I said, it's hard not to root for those guys. I mean, they're awesome, and they deserve it.
Awesome.
So, it's been an absolute pleasure. Okay, is there anything else you wanted to sort of mention or anything?
No,
are you on any other social media platforms? Any other places you release your content?
I mean, I'm on TikTok, but I haven't. I took that seriously for a little bit, and then I got really bored of editing down the videos after I've already edited them to put them on TikTok. So I kind of gave up on that. But it's KI TikTok if you want to follow me on there.
That's a good name.
And really, you can follow me on Twitch, KoticVR, or Chaotic Productions on YouTube.
Yep, help him get to 600 and more for sure. And
he always gets the greatest action shots.
With that,
appreciate it.
Let's play ourselves out. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you,
You've
everyone.
all been absolutely incredible all the support in the chat.
Thank you,
guys have been
Chaotic.
absolutely awesome. And
Thank you guys for having me.
Let's play.
You have to find that song now. Don't let us down.
Hey.
Okay, let's go into screen here. I think.
Where are those cats?